Nola, from your perspective, what types of things are you seeing organisations you work with do that is really cutting through and making a difference with workplaces?
Well, I think that they're asking the Aboriginal people. That's a change. Once upon a time, there was you're a manager, you're an organization, you're an expert in business, then you actually made the decisions for a group that you know very little about. So it's actually, asking the experts. And even though Aboriginality is not an expertise in this country yet, um, I get employed, yes, for my qualifications, but because of my Aboriginality. Uh, but that's not acknowledged. But anyway, that's a sidebar. So, but there are people, organisations. I've just worked with a large health organisation, and we've actually developed, redone all their policies. So it's not just about putting up artwork, inviting Aboriginal people for NAIDOC, doing the external stuff that's so simple, bringing an elder in to have a yarn, this sort of thing. That changes, that looks good and it's fun on the moment, but it changes nothing internally. So what I'm seeing by organisations like this health organisation, for example, and I'll name them Healthwise because they're amazing, and they actually got me to come in for over a 2-year period, to help them develop a cultural inclusion, redo their entire policies regarding diversity and inclusion. So we worked on the policy by policy. We worked on what was being taught to the staff when they came in the door. From that very first moment, whether they were Aboriginal or not, we wanted everyone to start with the same learning journey. So we had staff induction that was localised and relevant. It wasn't outsourced, like you said, and this outsourcing, it doesn't work. The localisation and the brilliant experience and knowledge you've got in your local area is something more organisations are starting to realise they need to tap into. And so we start with that first step of engagement, where we want everyone to start with that first level of knowledge regarding Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander diversity and inclusion. And that was really successful in that, having a consistency across the organisation. I actually did a research project where I looked at who were the traditional owners in each of their service areas, and then they put plaques on the wall identifying them and acknowledging and honouring them. And it has been a remarkable positive step forward in engaging with community and also with the non-Indigenous community being informed, because the worst thing about the difference between Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people in the workplaces and everywhere is that we don't understand each other and we don't know each other well enough. And so that's got to be worked on. We've got to get to know each other much more. And that's at a local level. It's not at a global or international. It's at a local level.
It's in teams with people, colleagues, working, sitting next to each other and not knowing that stuff about each other. I think, yeah, you really, what you're saying is amazing in terms of, I just feel like one of the things when I was going through the diversity learning that you ran, Annalie, with my team, I'm queer, and it's not something that I felt comfortable sharing with people for many, many years, particularly at work. And suddenly this work that we have been doing has enabled me to feel more comfortable in myself. And I'm a leader of that team. Like, if I can't feel comfortable within my own self to share that part of me, how can I expect anybody else to be able to be comfortable with that? Led to this really, really amazing place where our team has come, where people are sharing who they are and sharing more about themselves. And strangely, afterwards, the gelling and the closeness of that team, their productivity, the culture, everything that went with it shocked me at how it improved every aspect. And when we did our survey of how we're doing as a team, the results showed in more than just the question about diversity and inclusion, if that makes sense. And I think that speaks to some of the stuff that everybody was saying earlier, that when this is done well, and when teams feel engaged, and when teams feel that they have a sense of belonging and an ability to disclose things about themselves, magical things start to happen in other areas of your business in terms of productivity, in terms of being proud to work within an organization. I really probably wasn't prepared for or expecting that outcome. I don't know, just sharing that, I guess even then I sort of get chills about what that meant for me and my team.